Piotr Maciejczak.
Game on.
And he stood there, didn't he, by the drinks table for a good couple of minutes, even during Niels' walk-on, looking out to the crowd. He could scarcely believe that he was on the stage.
75.
And an unfortunate start for him. When that first one landed in the 60, I think we all knew what he was thinking.
He was trying to do what Cameron Menzies did earlier by opening the tournament with a max.
94.
But yes, that 6-4 win against Cyganski. I'm convinced that that win against the established Polish talent that Radek is set him up for the rest of the day. He beat Sebastian Steyer in the next round. He's a good player. Beat him 6-5, but then he would not be taking the distance by anybody else. He beat Jakub
57.
Janeskiewicz in his final game by 6 legs to 2, registering his highest average of the day of 81.69. Now, you do get the feeling he's going to need a little bit more than that against a very decent Zonneveld here today.
Well, this will be the pinnacle of Piotr's starting career, no question. He wins a lot of tournaments at local level, and he wins them convincingly in local sports clubs, darts events. Often they're races to 3, and from the stats that I can find, and there aren't many available when it comes to Maciejczak, you don't know loads about him, he seems to win 3-zip quite a lot. He won a tournament back in the autumn where he was a winner by a country mile. And he said that it wasn't his best, but they're so used to him winning at local level. This is very much a step up, as Niels Zonneveld has just emphasised with that maximum to leave himself a 2-darter.
He can do whatever he wants from this position. And that is more than fine. He'll be looking to do exactly what Luke Woodhouse has just done to Carl Sneed. Take on the debutant and just meander your way through the game with just a little bit more quality than them.
Yeah, all the signs point towards Niels Zonneveld being far too strong for Maciejczak. And the pole will already have to come from one behind.
Winner of this game takes on the number 7 seed, Stephen Bunting, who will be looking to get more success on the European Tour this year after winning the International Darts Open in 2025 and, of course, in Switzerland. But that leads me to the point of someone like this, like Maciejczak. You think about the last 14 years of the European Tour, we have had people making their debut from a home nation qualifier, and now they are household names. People like Gabe Clemens, and in particular, Ricardo Pietreczko. When he made his debut at the International Darts Open, nobody knew his name. Within 3 years, everybody knew his name. So we might be seeing in Maciejczak the start of something.
Well, there were only 37 entrants to the host nation qualifier yesterday. It was a small field, and so when you say the likes of Radek Cyganski fell at the hands of Piotr,
60.
That must have given him belief and confidence. It was a small field anyway. Some players that perhaps we expected to enter didn't.
140.
So when there's 4 spots up for grabs out of 37 and you're winning tournaments at local level, and I dare say you're probably in the same room as players that you're beating on a regular basis,
46.
I'm sure he would have fancied his chances of getting up there on that stage. But he's got his chance now. But Zonneveld is ripping away any heart from him early on here.
Third leg, Piotr to throw
Treble
first.
for double on the 19s, puts him 2-0 up.
He is showing that little bit of quality. 30 darts for the first couple of legs. That is very useful. We have seen some useful averages here today, especially from Joyce and Crutchmer in that third game. But I like this narrative of a local hero coming to
60.
what is pretty much seen as the National Open here in Poland now. I remember a player in Germany called Mike Holtz, and he was one of the best players in northern Germany.
93.
When he came to the European Tour, he was useful. But there are people like Zonneveld who have bigger ambitions. Making the match play, making the World Grand Prix,
140.
having a winning season. Essentially, Zonneveld is in exactly the same chair as Luke Woodhouse. So far, Zonneveld is keeping this audience quiet. But the moment that Piotr gets any sort of success, the volume will go up. And Zonneveld's got to handle that. I applaud the audience for getting his name into that chant. They know their syllables.
We spoke about Niels Zonneveld maybe putting his foot on the gas a bit this year. He did reach a final on the floor back in the summer. That was at the end of July in Hildesheim, in what was a reduced field in Germany that particular day. Quite a lot of the top guns pulled out of that particular event. He made it to the final, where he lost to a Pole, Sebastian Białecki, who picked up his first PDC Pro Tour title with that win. Now, Niels Zonneveld. The new school way on 1-3-1.
Niels to throw first.
And he is bullying Maciejczak now.
That is the perfect word. That's what Eric Brister would call this. He is bullying this guy. No sympathy. This is my win, not yours.
60.
We are going to see more Poles in the field today. We've got Miroslav Grodziecki coming up a little bit later against Jermaine Watermina. But one of the stories of yesterday, we can't let it slide, is that when she came through her first game, Krzysztof Ratajski's wife, Karolina, who is an excellent dart player, has played on the women's series as well, beat Tomasz Koslowski and then was narrowly taken out by Wojciech Brulinski, 6-5. If she'd won that game against Wojciech, she would have been in the qualifying match. And Wojciech Brulinski is going to be in the next European Tour event because he won the Eastern European qualifier. It was all going off yesterday.
Yeah, we could have had Mr. and Mrs. Krzysztof, couldn't we?
Can you imagine if they played each other?
At one point, Karolina had the highest average in the field after the first round of matches in the qualifiers yesterday.
Yeah, proper dart player. I wonder how nervous Krzysztof was yesterday, because the only time he gets nervous is when Karolina plays.
140.
And speaking of women's darts, Bo Greaves has just done an absolute madness on the Dev Tour. A moment to savour for Maciejczak. A maximum on the Poland Darts Open stage. Will the joy be short-lived? There is your answer. Look at the hope flush from Maciejczak's face.
Piotr to throw first.
That's class from Zonneveld. Some people would applaud the maximum for the home nation qualifier, saying that's a nice moment for you, you can have that. But Zonneveld just said, it's my leg, you're not having it. I love that about him right now. All the work he's done with this little click he's got going with Nyman and Kevin van der Voort, his little friend group is helping him become better, and he's never been this good before. His ranking states that. He's ready to do things he's never done before. However, Maciejczak is starting to get used to the maximum column.
59.
Well, for a long while, it was schoolyard bully stuff. Just finding some belief now, isn't he, Maciejczak? Wouldn't have surprised me if Zonneveld had gone backstage and asked for his lunch money after this, with the way that he's bruising him.
Not just a very decent player, he's got a darkened brain as well. Just for a microsecond there, he was thinking about back-to-back maxes, but he did the right thing. Switch leaves him a finish. The treble leaves him something that he really did need yesterday. It was this shot that beat Radek Sagansky. Now he has to chip away at Zonneveld by hitting doubles. He's about to get his first shot at one.
90. Piotr require 40.
For a leg. He wants double 10.
Oh no, Zonneveld's already hit this.
31.
Same route. Could be the same result. Even Zonneveld can crack a smile. If he'd hit that, that would have been so much fun in his own eyes.
71.
But he might not be able to stop this home nation qualifier from getting his first leg on the European Tour stage.
Maciejczak gets his leg. In all fairness, it will probably be in vain, but a nice moment for him nonetheless, because Zonneveld is once again squeezing him, constricting him.
Yet again, we get the evidence that Zonneveld has that maturity now. As soon as Piotr gets something to work for him, that was his first max, then Zonneveld takes out the 112. As soon as Maciejczak gets that first leg, Zonneveld starts the next leg with a max. That's great match play. It is rather fun coming to Poland. We know that this country's had such a great footprint in steel-tip darts for a few years, courtesy of Mr. Ratajski and some of his cronies. So many more. They've got multiple title winners. You mentioned Białecki. Ratajski is one of the winningest players of the last 10 years.
Just about unearthing them, isn't it?
140.
Unearthing those hidden gems. Maciejczak felt like he's been buried under the earth in this game so far.
81.
But he is first down to finish.
41.
That's the worst start that Zonneveld has thrown in this contest. That one had a lot of shoulder in it. Imagine the scenes if he hits this.
89.
He's done all he can.
140.
Can't stop Zonneveld from taking the 5-1 lead, but he's not going to get it. So if Maciejczak can just get within 2, the thought process of Zonneveld changes a little bit.
60. Piotr require 52.
Just in the 12. That was a nervy dart. This will be 2 to halve the gap.
Piotr Maciejczak. 7 leg, Piotr to throw first.
Do you remember in Czechia a couple of years ago, a certain individual called Pavel Dertel, who created all sorts of carnage in Prague? And I wonder if we're going to get that kind of carnage again, courtesy of this guy or maybe somebody else.
46.
Let's face it, on the European tour, Poland get just as many home games as the Netherlands. They get one, Poland gets one, and when Zonneveld later this season plays at the Dutch Darts Championship, he'll be getting this kind of treatment for himself, so it swings and roundabouts, doesn't it?
He can play. He can play, this kid. Niels Zonneveld, for the majority of this match, has not been in the mood to play games.
He's had chances to keep them quiet, but it's Maciejczak who's trying to keep them up. That's different. Going to the 19s on 284. But maybe that's off the back of the last visit. Not entirely against it. Oh, that's beautiful from Niels. Oh, he'll have to switch again. Now he must get a treble. Silence in here when he was called for that third dart, my word. Could have heard a pierogi drop on the floor.
$59.
Well, he's not taking the biggest chunk out of that, Niels Zonneveld. So a treble
60.
could not be found, but it would have scared this 105 a touch.
No double-double needed on this one.
85.
But that was a chance to keep everybody quiet.
120.
This place could change in the next 10 seconds. This 60 is hard to find. There you see an illustration of just how downwards the angle is on the entry.
60. Those are required 20.
Can't be messing about on this now, Zonneveld.
Thank you.
Oh, the home crowd, as you can tell, very much behind their man.
Ladies and gents, don't whistle when the players are throwing. Thanks.
And Kirk Bevins laying down the law. This will keep him quiet. If it goes in. Which it does. And Niels Zonneveld is now on the hill, one away. And Maciejczak has shown courage and belief. And he's got backing. Zonneveld has done the bulk of his work and is now throwing for the match.
Zonneveld does not mind playing European Tour darts in Eastern Europe. His best result was a semi-final in Czechia. That tournament, funnily enough, where Pavel Dirtel did have a bit of a run. He also made 3 last 16s
96
in his career. I think for his progression in 2026, he'd like to start making more final session appearances.
59.
Kind of stuff that Mike De Decker was starting to do a couple of years ago, and Luke Woodhouse, and Cameron Menzies.
It's all progress, isn't it? It's about how sometimes you compartmentalise it. Can I get to the next day? Then can I get to the Sunday? Sometimes players prefer to break it up that way. Others will prefer to just ride the wave.
140.
I think one of the things that he'll be working on mentally is making sure that he's not getting too ahead of himself. He'd like to make those final sessions, but he's focusing himself in a smaller window better.
83.
Today's all about Friday. When he wakes up tomorrow, it's all about Saturday. That's all he can do. Can't win the tournament today, but you can lose it.
89.
Great last dart. I haven't seen a great deal of bullseye hitting today. That might be the only one that Zonneveld requires.
Well, we saw Ryan Joyce and Boris Kirchmar earlier on both have respective attempts at 167, both missing the ball.
It was 113.
Spoke about Maciejczak perhaps riding a wave that might be crashing to shore before too long.
57.
Sometimes when you're a home nation qualifier and you see the numbers that they have in the qualifier, they come out on the stage and they have something slightly better, average-wise, because they're playing better players.
58.
But at this point, it looks like Zonneveld is just a bridge too far.
Squeezes the wire.
60.
And he's right next door to it. Decided not to move across to change the angle. Felt that staying where he was would have been enough to get the job done. Now this would be the rescue of all rescues, wouldn't it?
He does not want this experience to end. But it still might now that Zonneveld's got 3 at tops.
106.
Well, Zonneveld's finishing has been superb in this match. And he needs just one dart to see off the host nation qualifier, Piotr Maciejczak. His first game on home soil on a European Tour stage comes to a close. He hit a couple of maximums. He picked up a couple of legs against an inspired Niels Zonneveld, who took out 131, 51 tops, the modern way to go. He also took out 112 in total. He was 60% on his doubles, but a smile on the face of Maciejczak, whose European Tour bout comes to an end.